right? I'd like to start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is If Any Man Speak. And pretty much this is a dedication, or not so much as a dedication, but a exhortation to brothers out there that are speaking. A dedication that are teaching His word, and that are teaching His word, and that are not hitting them scriptures, you know, because you have brothers out there that you know, it might be one brother, it might be five brothers, you know, and sometimes brothers don't really hit them scriptures like they should be hitting them, you know, and the scriptures instruct us different. You know, if we're going to teach this word, you know, we gotta exalt the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's will, because we're not here to do our own will, just like Yahushai was not here to do his own will. Let's get that real quick. We read that yesterday in the book of St. John, the 5th chapter. You know, so if you got brothers that are doing live shows, or if you got brothers that are out there speaking, or if you got brothers that are doing sit downs, you know, whatever the case is, brothers got to hit them scriptures, man. You can't, you know, this isn't a thing where we just get on a comment just to ramble and just because we angry that moment, you know, we just verbalizing our anger on the camera. You know, it's about teaching the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's why sometimes brothers will say, you'll hear brothers say it, you know, that you might be down and out, or you might be angry. You know, take that energy, you know, and filter it into a lesson. But the point is to get the lesson out. The point is not to just so you can vent, you know. You know, I mean, I did a lesson one time, you know, vexed in the spirit or something like that, you know, but through the spirit I was hitting the scriptures, you know, Barakatah how about Shem Shai for that. But, you know, brothers that are out there, you know, that are teaching His word, you know, it's about uplifting this word. It's not about doing your program, you know, and sometimes brothers will be on a tirade, so to speak, you know, just for a while, you just running your mouth and not bringing out any scriptures. This is not our program. This is the program of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai have to be exalted and broken down to edify. The word edify means to build. So we're out here to do this, to build up the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakah Kodash. So be mindful, you know, when you're on there, you know, whether you by yourself or whether you have more than one brother with you, you know, be mindful. Bring them scriptures out, man. You know, don't just go speaking for 20 minutes straight, 25 minutes, half hour straight without bringing any scriptures out, unless you stated at the beginning of the lesson, well, look, brothers, I'm going to go through this information real quick, as fast as I can. Then on the second half of it, I'm going to bring out the scriptures. You know, and even then, sometimes, you know, while you're going through the thing, scriptures are popping in your mind, and you might quote it or you might read it real quick, you know, and go back to the information, because it's not about the information. It's about the truth. It's about the scriptures. It's about breaking the scriptures down. The information is good, but the main thing is we're pushing these precepts. So now this is the book of St. John 5:30. I can of mine own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which have sent me. And we feel the same way. So if that's the case, what do we have to do? We have to teach the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, not our agenda, because you got guys that do that. Why? Because they're serving their own belly. You know, 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. Now, just to clarify, if you're driving, you know, and you're by yourself driving, it's impossible to read, you know, the scriptures and, you know, and drive at the same time, unless you're a Reubenite. Inside joke. But you know, you try to quote the scriptures to the best of your ability while you're doing your lesson as you're driving. That's the only time where you can't bring out any scriptures. You could just quote them to the best of your ability, to the best that you can remember through the Spirit. But if you're doing sit downs, you're doing live shows, you're doing what's the word I'm looking for? Camp shows. Out in camp, you're doing like I said, the sit downs at home. And you got 5 brothers there, and nobody's bringing out no scriptures. What's going on? Brothers got to bring them scriptures out, man. Bring them out. It's about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not about us. So it says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. What are the oracles of the Most High? This truth, these precepts, this word, to be broken down for what purpose? To build up, to edify, to build up others out there that are part of the elect, to either one, to seal them so they can be saved, or to build them up to become teachers so that they can be sealed and be saved also. All right? So it says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth, because the Lord gave to each man a certain portion of this truth. And you can't go above and beyond what the Lord gave. We can't do more than what the Lord gave us. Neither should we try to do less than what the Lord gave us. We should be pushing with what the Lord gave us. It says that the Most High, not us, that the Most High, not us, that the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahushua HaMashiach. And this is what it's all about. To whom be praise and dominion forever and ever, so be true. Because this is what our purpose is to teach this word, to exalt and glorify the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to break down his words, to explain, to push out the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for the purpose of when the shit hits the fan, so to speak, it's going to be magnified and known who the power of the heavens is. Him and his son, their names, Yahweh, Yahushai, the nation of Israel, Yasha'Allah, would be exalted, and this word would be exalted. Yahushua said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto myself. You see? So now let's go from there to Romans 3:3. And our job is to teach. If there's an opportunity to convince the gainsayers, so be it in the spirit. But our job is not to make people see it. Our job is to teach it. Because it's the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that will make people to see it. Whoever it is that is meant to see it. Let's go real quick to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And I'll start at 9. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. I started at 5. It says, who then is Paul and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believed, even as the Lord gave to every man. See, it goes back to the portion the Lord gave to every man. Some are greater than others, some are lesser than others, but yet still in all, they're all looked at alike in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because we're all striving for that penny. All right? So it says, I have planted, this is the Apostle Paul speaking, Apollos watered. So the Apostle Paul planted the seed. Apollos watered it because he came back, and after the Apostle Paul opened up the fallow ground in Jake's mind back then, the Israelite foreigners, Apollo came back and watered it, meaning he taught them to build them up so that they can what? Grow. But the Most High gave the increase. Because if the Most High doesn't give the increase, you can plant and water all you want. It's not going to take root. But what is the thing that's taking root? It's the man, shut the hell up, man. Somebody get this clown off of here. Shut the hell up. You just cut yourself. What the fuck you talking about? Fuck out of here, man. Go to TD Jake's site or somebody like that. You damn clown. Matter of fact, I'll get you. Get the hell out of here, man. Oh, somebody already got him. I was trying to stomp the roach, and I looked, and somebody already got him. Somebody already sprayed that Decon Fogon on his ass. Okay, so I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase. So this is the deal. The Most High is the one giving the increase. You know? So then neither is he that planted anything. Did you hear that? Neither is he that planted anything, because it's not about us. Neither he that watereth, because it's not about us. But the Most High that gave the increase. So if that's the case, right? If this is the case, that the Most High is the one that gives the increase, then what should we be doing? If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High, not our own oracles. And then if we teach it, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So if we teach it, and you have people out there that don't believe it, well, the scriptures say, Romans 3:3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? Because they don't believe. Is that going to stop the Most High from fulfilling what he said he was going to do? No. And the word there for effect is katargeo, to render idle. So are they going to stop the Most High's plans? Are they going to make it idle? No. Unemployed, inactive, inoperative. The Most High said that his words don't go out void. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Isaiah 55. Yeah, man, I was trying to stomp that roach, man. It's like one of them white roaches, man. I was trying to stomp him, then I looked. The brother already got his ass. Yeah, that was funny. Isaiah 55:10. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Because a husbandman, his thing is to plant seeds in the ground for what? For food. He's not just planting the seed in the ground because he needs to exercise. He's planting it of necessity, because he needs to eat. He has to feed his family. He has to feed people around his neighborhood that are counting on his crops. Right? So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. Why? Because the Most High's words are also a seed. Let's go real quick to Luke 8:11. It says, now the parable is this. The seed is the word of the Most High. This is the parable of the sower seed. So this seed is a word of the Most High. The minds of Israel are those different grounds, you know, and not every ground is meat for or good for planting, because there's not enough nutrients in the soil to make that seed to grow. So this is why the seed has to enter into the minds of those that are of the elect, because they are the ones that have the mind to absorb this knowledge and have it to increase. So going back to Isaiah 55:11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish. Matter of fact, let me get the scripture that came to mind before I forget it. Let's go back. I'm sorry, that wasn't it. And we'll go back, see if I can find that one. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, because it's not going to be void. The word void is rayaquam, vainly, emptily, in empty condition, emptily, in vain, without effect, vainly. It's not going to be without effect. It's not going to be null and void. It's going to accomplish the thing that the Most High set it forth to do. So it says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And this is why we have to push this word, not our own words, because Yahushua didn't come to do his own will. He came to do the will of the Father, Yahweh. So we ought to have the same mindset, because the words of the Most High are going to be prosperous. So this is okay. So now let's jump back here. Let me see if I can find this other precept in 1 Peter. Right here. I'm just gonna go straight to the. Oh wow. Hey, you know what? The hell with it. I go up to the 22nd verse. There's some good some good meat here. Seeing you have purified your souls in what? In obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren. So this is why we're supposed to uplift this word, because when we were doing our own will in the world, it was vain. It was evil, it was wicked. But now that we've been purified by what? By this truth, in obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren, see that you love one another with a pure heart fervently, being born again. Because we had to relearn everything that we had to unlearn what we knew in the past and relearn everything that we know now. Oh, I guess there were more roaches. Being born again, not of corruptible seed. Because you have corruptible seeds, which are these different philosophies out here, doctrines, and you have the right doctrine, the right truth, the incorruptible seed. And matter of fact, let me get this other precept real quick. Let me bring this back. Let me get this. Oops. Okay, that's what that was at. All right. Learn something new every day. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 17. For we are not as many which corrupt the word of the Most High, but as of sincerity, but as of the Most High, in the sight of the Most High, speak we in what? In Yahweh Shai. So it's not about our own will. Yeah, another demon. Hey, the water, brother, for spraying that decon fogon. You know, brother, handling that a flamethrower, spiritual flamethrower over there. Okay, so now let's go back to Peter's. 1 Peter 1:23, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by what? By the word. I know you love it, brother. But of incorruptible, by what? By the word of the Most High, which liveth and abideth forever. You know, as Apostle Elder Tahar said a while back, that this Bible is a living entity. It's a living being. It's living. It's alive. It breathes. You know, and that's why it's movable. In other words, not that it's movable as far as what the doctrine is concerned, but it moves like the wind. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know where it's going. And that's why when brothers are teaching 2 or 3 at a time, the Spirit might be on one brother speaking, and he might be on fire. Then all of a sudden, the Lord will stop that brother for a moment and put the Spirit on another brother, and that brother will say a few words. And the Lord directs us to the first brother keep his mouth shut and let this man come in and say what he got to say, because that's how the Spirit works. And this is why if you have a group of brothers, whether it be 2 or 4 or 5 or 6, and everybody's talking over each other, you know, and nobody's bringing out any scriptures, that's vain talk, you know. I mean, unless, you know, sometimes brothers hit points and mention scriptures, or, you know, hit scriptural or speak about, you know, history and stuff like that, you know. But the thing is hitting them precepts, because you notice when you hit them precepts, the fire roars even brighter and hotter, you know. And that's what you want. You want that nice, you know, because, you know, at first when you're trying to kindle the fire, you know, it takes a little while. But once that fire gets roaring, right, it's not just going to keep roaring unless you keep throwing logs in there or keep throwing something in there to keep it going. So this is why brothers bringing in precepts. Boom, 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 boom. And that keeps the fire roaring until the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Shai said, okay, that's enough. And now, you know, that's usually around the time when the lesson ends. All right, so it says, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible by the word of the Most High, which liveth and abideth forever. For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man is as the flower of grass. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away. But the word of the Lord endureth forever. And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you. And this is why it says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? It don't matter whether they believe or not. The Lord already directed us in what to do in a situation like that. Let's go 2 precepts, 2nd Ezra, I believe that's the 15th chapter. And, okay, we're done with this one. Let's go to Ezekiel I believe it's the second chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. All right. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth. See, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Not our own thoughts, not our own vain opinions, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So we ain't supposed to be worried about that. Why? For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay? And it goes on to tell you how they're going to die. Now Ezekiel 2, it says, I'm just going to the point. 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Not thus saith me or us. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, if they accept it or not, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. And that's how the Most High is going to be exalted and magnified, by his words being exalted and magnified. And this is why them stale-ass plantation Christians are trying to come to debunk this, because they see the fire roaring. And there's nothing there to stop it. So just like they did in the past, them heathens did in the past, they try to come and say, we want to build with you, but that was all bullshit. You ain't got nothing to do with the build with us, because if you try to build with us, what are you going to do? You're going to try to push your bullshit in there. This is why they're trying to tell us what to believe. Look, man, the Lord already gave us the belief that we need. We got the right belief. We ain't trying to mix it in with your bullshit. You're going to try to force down our throat what you believe. And we just have to accept it. These devils are a trip, boy. I tell you, man. So back in Romans 3:3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? The Most High forbid. Now here we go. Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Why? Because the Most High has a plan. And if we try to deviate from that, there's not going to be any justification. Now, let's go to where the Apostle Paul quoted this from. Psalms 51. I'm going to start at the top. I'm just going to jump down to the point, because this is giving you a little synopsis of what was going on during this time when King David wrote this. Have mercy upon me, O Most High, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Why? Because we are all filthy. Scriptures say that all of our righteousness is as filthy rags. So we pray the Lord blot out our transgressions, and don't remember that, but have mercy on us. And this is what the King David was saying, because in that series that I was telling you brothers about, I did a part 1 and part 2, the family, they try to use the history on King David, how he committed adultery and murder, to use that for their thing. So we go to the wolf. That's what they're trying to use as justification. But what they're not telling the people is that King David repented from that. See? The reason why the Most High had mercy on him was because he repented. See, they're using that to say, no, the hell with it, just keep being wicked. And the more wicked a person is, the more that they can use them. But they're trying to make it sound all benevolent, like, yeah, Jesus. They keep throwing that word around to make everybody think, well, it can't be that bad. They're talking about Jesus. Jesus, baby, Jesus. But it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's the devil at his best in deception mode. So this is the apostle. He is the Apostle Peter. I mean, I wasn't going to say Apostle Peter, but he is the Apostle Peter in the reincarnation, if you can receive it. But this is King David speaking about his transgressions, asking the Lord to blot him out. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. See? For I acknowledge my transgressions. And that's the thing. We have to acknowledge our transgressions, as King David did. You can't use this and say, well, King David was wicked, so I'm going to be wicked. No, because he repented. And my sin is ever before me, because you're going to keep thinking about that. And even us, sometimes the shit that we've done, it always keeps coming back into our mind. You know, I'm like, fuck, you know. But we have the faith that the Lord will forgive us and the hope that the Lord will forgive us. Against thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest and be clear when thou judgest. Because we did it against the Lord. And the Lord is justified in what he's doing. So if we teach the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we will be justified in the sayings, you know, that we're speaking, because it is the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And this is why the Apostle Paul used that excerpt from Psalms 51 to make a point of those that don't believe, because the Most High is the one that's going to justify. So this is why we have to teach the words of the Lord. 1 Peter 4:11, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. All right, now let's go to Deuteronomy 31:24. And it came to pass, when Moses had made an end, of writing the words of this law in a book until they were finished, which we have today, you know, the first 5 books of the law, right? That Moses commanded the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your power, that it, what? The book of the law, may be there for a witness against thee. You see? So this is going to be a witness against us. Why? Because for I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, you have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death. So this is why this book here is a witness against us. Take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your power, that it may be there for a witness against thee. This is what witnessed against us. This is why we fell to the lower state that we're in today. And there was another precept that came to mind. I wish I would have got it, but if it's meant to be, it'll come back out. So let me read that again. Take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your power, that it may be there for a witness against thee. You know, and this is okay, beautiful. That is Isaiah, I believe it's 28. Right. It says Isaiah 28:12. To whom he said, this is the rest, meaning what? This word, these words are the rest, wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, those that are weary in mind, because we all get weary at times. You know, being in this demonic ass kingdom, we get weary because of these bodies. These bodies are constantly attacking us. Them demons are constantly fucking with our minds. And this is the refreshing, because it also is refreshing, because it's a comfort. Yet they would not hear. Jake ain't listening. But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Meaning what? That these words that are spoken here came upon Israel. A little here and a little there. And this is why you see all of the curses coming upon Jake. And you see Jake in the ghettos, you know, women being sluts, the men being thugs and homosexuals, women being lesbians, you know, not aborting their children, you know, and different things of that nature. Because it actually took hold of us. These words, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Why? Because we were put to an open shame, because we shamed the Lord. You see? Now, let's go from there to the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 9. To the Lord our power belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Why? Because we went against his words. So this is why we have to, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. And if any man be ignorant, then let him be ignorant. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our power to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Yet all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing. So this is why we have to make sure that we jump, you know, on teaching this word, you know, because the scriptures also instruct us, Colossians 4 and 5, walk in wisdom toward them that are without. What wisdom? The wisdom of these scriptures. Not your own precepts, not your own thoughts, Because you even had individuals that were in Great Millstone at one time. Yeah, I tried to, win them over, because I'm real good with words. So I like to try to win them over with words, just go into it and just talk to them. And no, man, you're going off. You got to hit them scriptures. The scriptures, because if you convince them with your words, that means that they're not convinced by the Lord. They're convinced by your words. So walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. And what does it mean, redeeming the time? Buying back the time. Measuring or measuring the time. Telling them we're in some bad times and more bad times are coming. It says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, with this truth, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. You see? And this is why it says that if the salt has lost its savor, what is it good for? To be cast in the dunghill. Because then you're going to do reprobate shit and say reprobate things. Like the IUIC right now saying reprobate things, that you can have sex on the Sabbath. Talking about, if there's 2 or 3 witnesses, give me 2 more precepts that say you can have sex on the Sabbath. Or 1 ain't enough, like Elder Yashawamba said. And then also, Elder Yashawamba said, give me a precept that says that the scripture that's 2 or 3 witnesses is talking about scriptures. It's talking about men, witnesses of that. We actually witness a particular crime. Now, let's go from there back to Daniel 9:11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words. Let's look up that word confirmed. And he has confirmed, he has confirmed, Qawam, to arise, stand, rise up, stand up. To be established, be confirmed. Yep. Like when you say Kwam Yasha Allah, this is another way of saying it. Kwam Yasha Allah means rise, Israel. So the Lord has confirmed, or he has made his words to stand up against us, and hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Why? Because we departed from the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because we made an agreement with him by blood. And we didn't keep our part of the bargain. And the Most High has so much love towards us that he made a second covenant with us that was established upon better promises. He's going to put his law, statutes, and commandments into our inward parts when we get to the kingdom. In the kingdom, that'll happen. And it was sealed by the blood of Yahushai. So glory be, So pretty much that's all I had. That's the last precept I had. The water to you, brothers, man, for putting scriptures. Let me see. Matter of fact, Karatazah, Deuteronomy 9:6. Understand, therefore, that the Lord thy power giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Yeah, and there's another scripture that says, it's not for thy righteousness' sake, but for my great name's sake, or something along those lines, that the Lord has done this. The kingdom within, Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. That's right. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So we're supposed to hear the words at the Most High's mouth and give Jake warning from the Lord. Jeremiah 3:15. And I, the Most High, will give you pastors according to mine heart. So now what is the heart of the Lord? What is written in this word? Matter of fact, let's go to Deuteronomy 29 and 29. It says, the secret things belong unto the Lord our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. So this is the heart of the Most High, that he revealed unto us. Anything else that he didn't reveal, that's his, because he is the Most High. So he said, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. What knowledge and understanding? The knowledge and understanding of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, not our knowledge and not our understanding. That's a good one. Yahweh Kanan. Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are Sodom's children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. That's right. And that's the key. So even though we're speaking with the words of the Lord, they ain't listening. But what did the Lord say? Tell them whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. All right. So pretty much with that, like I said, brothers, I'm gonna end it there. The water to you, brothers, for coming on the comment board. Shalom to you, and shalom to you, the very few sisters that still do listen to us. The time is fast approaching. You see things happening around the world. I mean, they pushing that chip and a lot of stuff that's going on. But stay strong and keep on fighting. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.